How did a land without great rivers, without vast oceans, without abundant resources, become the spiritual heart of half the world? This is the story of Israel and Palestine, two peoples, two lands, bound by faith, scarred by history, and still full of life. A place where the past breathes in every stone, where prayers echo across generations, and where hope refuses to die. So, if you're not in a hurry, take a moment, stay with us, and uncover the mysteries hidden deep within the soul of this ancient land. Jerusalem, a city that has been destroyed twice, besieged 23 times, attacked 52 times, and captured and recaptured 44 times. And yet, after thousands of years, it remains the spiritual heart of over 3 billion people around the world. Tucked between the sun-scorched rocks of the Middle East, where the desert meets the sky and the wind whispers like a forgotten myth, Jerusalem rises not as a city, but as a mystery waiting to be unraveled. Small enough to walk across in a few hours, yet vast in the weight of untold stories etched into every stone. This is not merely a location on a map, it is where earth and heaven brush against each other, where whispered prayers in the night echo alongside morning church bells, and where 3 of the world's great faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, trace their sacred steps back to this very ground. Each belief opens a different passage into a maze of spiritual depth, woven through with history, hope, and human longing. And somehow, through centuries of conflict, walls torn down and rebuilt, Jerusalem still stands, not just with stone and mortar, but with unshaken spirit. It endures in the quiet glow of devotion, in the tears of pilgrims who touch its ancient walls for the first time, as if brushing against something beyond logic, beyond time. The old city of Jerusalem today is divided into 4 distinct quarters, yet they are intertwined like blood vessels flowing through a single sacred heart. For the Jewish people, Jerusalem is the place where King Solomon built the first temple, believed to be the earthly dwelling of God among humankind. That temple was destroyed by the Babylonians around the year 586 BCE. And all that remains today is a portion of the Western Wall. Yet that very wall, known as the Wailing Wall, has become an eternal symbol of Jewish resilience and faith, a place where prayers are whispered, tears are shed, and hopes are tucked between the stones like letters to the heavens. For Christians, Jerusalem is a place of pilgrimage, constantly alive with the footsteps of the faithful. It is where Jesus Christ spent his final moments on earth, where he carried his cross to Golgotha was crucified and where the empty tomb is believed to mark his resurrection. All of these sacred events are remembered in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Millions of pilgrims from across the globe come to bow before the stone of anointing, where his body was prepared for burial, a deeply spiritual moment that seems to still the air inside the church. Throughout Jerusalem, every stone seems to bear the imprint of Jesus' footsteps. After the Last Supper, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray in solitude before being arrested and brought before religious and Roman authorities. The next morning, he carried his cross along the narrow Via Dolorosa, the Way of Sorrows, to Golgotha, where he was crucified in an act of sacrifice for humanity's salvation. Three days later, according to Christian belief, he rose from the dead, a triumph of life over death and the very foundation of Christian faith. That is why every street corner, every dome, and every worn step in Jerusalem is not just a historical trace, but a place overflowing with faith and longing, drawing millions in quiet reverence and reflection. The Muslim Quarter, the largest of the four, radiates vibrant life with bustling bazaars, ancient mosques, and the call to prayer echoing from tall minarets. For Muslims, Jerusalem is the starting point of one of the most miraculous journeys in the Quran, the Isra and Mi'raj. According to tradition, it was from a sacred rock on the Temple Mount that the Prophet Muhammad was carried by an angel into the heavens to meet with God. To honor this moment, Muslims built the Dome of the Rock, its radiant golden dome, visible from nearly every corner of the old city, standing like a beacon of eternal faith. And then there is the Armenian Quarter, small, quiet, yet remarkably enduring. Tucked behind old stone walls and ancient monasteries, the Armenian community is like a low, steady note in the vibrant symphony of this sacred city. They do not seek attention or acclaim, yet they faithfully preserve their language, rituals, and ancestral faith, a quiet flame that has continued to burn through the winds of time. In a city shaped by countless cultures and voices, the Armenian Quarter remains a testament to unwavering loyalty to one's roots, as if every stone here knows the stories of those who never shouted but steadfastly lived by their own truth. Not far from the heart of the old city lies the Mount of Olives, a sacred site revered by all three major monotheistic religions. For Jews, it is the final resting place of more than 150,000 people, all buried facing Jerusalem, a silent testament to their unwavering belief in the resurrection. For Christians, the mountain is intimately linked with the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed before his arrest, and with the Chapel of the Ascension, which commemorates the moment he departed from this world. For Muslims, it is believed to be the place of the Last Judgment, where a bridge will appear over the chasm below, allowing the righteous to cross into paradise. Located just south of Jerusalem, Bethlehem is a small city that holds immense significance, both religiously and politically. According to Christian tradition, it is the birthplace of King David, the legendary ruler of Israel. But more importantly, Bethlehem is believed to be the birthplace of Jesus Christ, an event that forever changed the course of human history. For this reason, the city is revered as the cradle of the Christian faith. At the heart of modern-day Bethlehem stands the Church of the Nativity, built in the 4th century by order of Emperor Constantine. It remains a powerful witness to history. Beneath the main altar lies the 14-pointed silver star that marks the exact spot where, according to tradition, Christ was born. Each year, hundreds of thousands of faithful pilgrims from around the world gather here to pray, sing, and commemorate the very first Christmas night. Yet Bethlehem is not only a place that preserves sacred light, it is also a city struggling with reality. Deeply affected by the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Bethlehem is divided by a towering concrete separation wall more than 8 meters high, cutting through the city, separating land people and hope. And then amidst the cold, grey slabs of concrete, another voice emerges, the voice of resistance through art. World-renowned British street artist Banksy has transformed the walls of Bethlehem into a giant canvas where he expresses messages of politics, peace, and humanity. Works such as Flower Thrower, Girl Frisking Soldier, Dove with Bulletproof Vest have made the world stop and listen. More than just art, they are a reminder that even in times of war, people can still dream of freedom and use beauty to confront brutality. Amid the ancient legends of the Holy Land, the Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Chest of God, stands as one of the most sacred and mysterious religious symbols in human history. According to the Hebrew Bible, it was a gold-covered acacia wood chest that held the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai. It is also believed to have contained a jar of manna, the heavenly food, and Aaron's rod, the staff of Moses' brother. Atop the ark were 2 golden cherubim, facing each other, forming what was called the mercy seat, the place where the divine presence of God was believed to dwell whenever the ark was present. To the ancient Israelites, the ark was not just a holy object, it was the physical manifestation of God's presence on earth. It was housed in the Holy of Holies, the innermost and most sacred chamber of Solomon's temple, where only the high priest was permitted to enter, and only once a year, on the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. Beyond its spiritual significance, the ark was also regarded as a divine weapon. In many battles, when the ark was carried into the field, the Israelite army believed they were under God's protection, and often they were victorious. Yet the greatest mystery surrounding the ark lies in its sudden disappearance. After the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, the ark vanished from recorded history. There is no definitive account of whether it was hidden, destroyed, or taken elsewhere. And to this day, it remains one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in both religion and archaeology. If Jerusalem and Bethlehem are places where stories of faith are told, then the Judean desert speaks of the power of silence and unwavering devotion. Tucked into the cliffs of the rugged wilderness, Mar Saba Monastery rises like a fairy tale fortress carved into stone. Founded in the 5th century by the monk Sabbas, it has upheld a life of strict asceticism and seclusion for more than 15 centuries. Women are not allowed to enter the monastery. They can only gaze upon it from a nearby hilltop. In today's noisy world, Mar Saba feels like a silent dream, a place where the soul seeks communion with the divine amid solitude. Not far from there lies Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, with over 10,000 years of recorded settlement. Mentioned in the Bible for the dramatic tale of its walls falling to the sound of trumpets, Jericho is also the cradle of ancient agriculture and urban civilization. Thanks to natural springs, the city flourished as an oasis in the desert, sustaining life across millennia. In a land of harsh conditions, Jericho stands as a living testament to the resilience and ingenuity of early human civilization. Don't be too quick to think of the desert as a barren land of sand and death. For even under the scorching sun and relentless dryness, nature here continues to write extraordinary stories of survival. On the steep cliffs, the Nubian ibex, with its curved horns and hooves that seem to grip stone, climbs effortlessly as if walking on flat ground. In the silence of the desert night, the barn owl spreads its wings, specially designed to fly, with almost no sound, striking its prey with ghostly precision. By day, beneath the blazing sky, the Egyptian vulture, one of the few animals known to use tools, picks up stones to crack open ostrich eggs. On the ground, the caracal, swift and sleek, like a living arrow, can leap more than 3 meters into the air to snatch birds in mid-flight. Above them, the peregrine falcon, the fastest animal on Earth, dives like a lightning bolt, reaching speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour to seize its target. Meanwhile, the chameleon, perched patiently on a brittle twig, changes color to regulate temperature and signal its mood. Its eyes rotate independently, and its tongue, longer than its body, shoots out to catch insects in a blink. All these creatures are proof that life never gives up, not even in the desert. Next, welcome to the lowest point on Earth, the Dead Sea, located at 430 meters below sea level. Despite its name, the Dead Sea is not actually a sea, but a hypersaline lake nestled between the borders of Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. With a salt concentration more than 10 times that of regular seawater, no living organism can survive here, hence the name Dead Sea. Yet this place is anything but lifeless. Its rich mineral content creates a fascinating phenomenon. The human body effortlessly floats on the surface. As early as the time of Cleopatra, its black mud and mineral salts were prized for beauty treatments, therapeutic benefits, and relief from joint pain and skin conditions. The Dead Sea is not just a destination, it's the oldest natural spa on Earth. However, nature is not immortal. Since the 1960s, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea's main water source, has been heavily exploited by neighboring countries. As a result, the water level has dropped by more than a meter per year, and thousands of sinkholes have appeared, swallowing roads, buildings, and even tourist facilities along the shoreline. Near Qumran, on the northwestern edge of the Dead Sea, a young shepherd made a world-changing discovery in 1947, ancient scrolls hidden in clay jars. These are the Dead Sea Scrolls, over 900 manuscripts, some dating back more than 2,000 years. They include familiar texts like Genesis and Isaiah, as well as previously unknown writings on laws, rituals, and apocalyptic visions. Far more than an archaeological treasure, the scrolls offer a rare window into the spiritual world of the Second Temple period, the very era in which Jesus lived. Masada, symbol of resistance. Perched atop a remote plateau on the edge of the Judean desert, overlooking the vast expanse of the Dead Sea. Masada is more than just an ancient military fortress. It is a powerful symbol of Jewish resistance and the unyielding desire for freedom. Originally built in the late 1st century BCE by King Herod the Great as a luxurious desert refuge, the fortress featured granaries, rainwater cisterns, and a formidable defense system, making it a self-sustaining stronghold nearly impossible to conquer. But what etched Masada into the heart of the Jewish people was the event that unfolded there in the year 73 CE. After the fall of Jerusalem, during the Jewish revolt against Rome, nearly 1,000 Jewish rebels retreated to Masada as their last refuge. Surrounded and facing inevitable defeat by Roman forces, they made an unimaginable decision: mass suicide over slavery. According to the historian Flavius Josephus, their final act was a declaration that freedom was worth more than life itself. Today, Masada is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting visitors not only for its dramatic desert landscapes, but for its profound spiritual legacy. Every stone, every stairway still seems to echo with the defiance of a people who, even in despair, held on to dignity and resolve, a timeless reminder that even when all seems lost, the human spirit can still stand tall. In the heart of the harsh, arid Negev desert in southern Israel, a breathtaking spectacle emerges so surreal it feels like stepping into another world. This is Maktesh Ramon, a colossal crescent-shaped erosion crater stretching over 40 kilometers long and 10 kilometers wide, with towering cliffs, twisted layers of rock, and surfaces painted in deep reds, burnt oranges, golden yellows, and charcoal blacks, like an ancient earthbound color palette. Maktesh Ramon is not a volcanic crater, nor the result of a meteorite impact, though its massive shape and rugged terrain might suggest otherwise. In reality, it is a rare geological formation found only in the Negev and a few other places around the world. Over millions of years, erosion by wind, water, and tectonic activity wore away the center of a mountain range, leaving behind this vast sunken valley, a dramatic cut across the surface of the Earth. For geologists, Maktesh Ramon is a natural laboratory ideal for studying the evolution of the Earth's crust. Each exposed layer of rock reveals ancient stories of prehistoric seas that once covered the region of tectonic shifts and of how time is etched into matter by the forces of nature. But beyond its scientific value, Maktesh Ramon offers a deeply spiritual experience. In its overwhelming vastness, one feels humbled, dwarfed by nature's raw, silent grandeur. By night, it becomes one of the best stargazing sites in the Middle East. No city lights, only the Milky Way stretched in full silence above a crater millions of years old. Maktesh Ramon stands as proof that nature with patience and time can craft wonders beyond even human imagination without ever needing our intervention. Our journey through Israel and Palestine reveals that this land is not only steeped in history, but also a place where faith, memory, and humanity have intertwined for thousands of years. If you found this journey meaningful, please like the video, subscribe to True Globe, and leave us a comment. Every response is a source of motivation that helps us keep sharing more extraordinary stories. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next adventure.